Genesis 10 is a Bible passage that tells us about the three sons of Noah that repopulated the earth after the great deluge. It also mentions the names of their descendants and where they settled upon the face of the earth. Today I'm going to go through some characters from Genesis 10 that relate to the ancient accounts of India and the lands of Shem I have been covering in my channel. Before I do that, I would like to point out certain things about the way in which the Indian epics present their past. If you read them, it would appear like the whole story of Mahabharata or Ramayana occurring in between some neighboring kingdoms of the Indian subcontinent, whereas the truth is that these incidents played out in a large region starting from Africa all the way to India. For example, the Indra, the all-powerful god, was just a king who tried to exert his control over India from Egypt, just like Britain tried to control America in its early days. Another god, Shiva, and his contemporary Vishnu were both from ancient Assyria. Kali, the mother goddess, emerged out of the Persian Gulf near Bahrain. An incident called Zeus slaying of Typhoon is also found in the Indian literature as Indra slaying Vritra, and there is more. Now the question is, why would the Indian authors misrepresent all these? The reason is simple. Great poets like Valmiki and Vedavyas, when they penned these stories more than 1500 years after the real incidents took place, based their accounts on the traditional knowledge that was available to them on their days. Now, without much ado, let's delve into Genesis 10. Okay, now we are in Genesis 10. It talks about Noah and his three sons. Before I begin, Noah, the Indian Manu, had many other names. He was known as Satya Yurada and Ikshvaku, Rishabhadeva, and Brahma. He had three sons, namely Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Japheth doesn't have much connection with the biblical story at all. The biblical storyline is mostly in between the Shem and Ham's descendants. However, we can recognize Javan because these people are known as Yavanas. They came all the way to India and traded with the ancient Indians. And Ham had children. Ham had Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. And without this Cush, there is no Indian mythology. If you see the Indian genealogy charts, every lineage will just go and merge in this person's name, Cush. He married a lot of women, had a lot of children, and Rama, Krishna, everyone is connected to him. They're all Kushites. And then comes Mizraim. He's the Zeus of Greek mythology. In Egypt, he was Osiris, and in India, he is Indra, the mighty god of Hinduism. Now we have Put, who ruled over Libya in the African continent. And then we have Canaan. He's popular, he's known. He and his descendants occupied all the way from Lebanon to the borders of Egypt. And one more thing I want to add about Ham. Ham had other names too. It is a good thing to know the other names, because if we don't know all these other names, we will miss a lot of things that these people did in ancient history. He was known as Bahubali and Manmadan. Even Zoroaster, the founder of the Persian religion, is Ham. Then this Kush, who was behind the Indian history, he begat Nimrod. He was a mighty one in the earth, it says. This person is very interesting because he is worshipped in India as Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is of a mixed race. It's the mingling of the fallen entities with the human race. So he is so huge. Even now if you go to the countrysides, you can see his statue, so big. And Lord Shiva also is Sargon the First, and Shahrukhin, and Ninus, I believe. He is all those people. He ruled over some places. It says at the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. This Shinar is the land passage between the rivers Euphrates and Tigris. Then Nimrod had a companion called Asher. He was one of the sons of Shem, and this person went up north and built the city of Nineveh and some other cities. By the way, Nineveh remained the capital city of the Assyrian Empire for thousands of years. Then Shem, he fathered some children. Elam was one of his children, from whom the Elamites came. Elamites are the Iranians. And Asher, the one that went astray and was with Nimrod. And Arphaxad. Arphaxad is important because in his lineage came Abraham, to whom we all look up to, Jews, Christians and Muslims. And Lud, he ended up in Turkey region, and Aram, out of whom came the Armenians. Then Arphaxad gave birth to Salah and Eber. That Eber is an important name because from Eber the word Hebrew and the people group Hebrews came from. And he had two sons. One of them was Peleg. Peleg means division, because in his days the earth was divided, meaning the three sons of Noah, they cast lots and divided the land portions known to them among themselves at his time. And Peleg's brother's name was Joktan. According to Josephus, the historian, the people of Joktan settled down on the western side of Sindh River in Pakistan. Whoever would connect Pakistan with Genesis 10. Now, I missed out something I wanted to tell you. This Asher and his people rejected Shem's God, Yahweh, and mingled with Nimrod's people, who were already giants due to mixing with the fallen entities. And the remaining part of Shem's children were still pious and good, and were called the Devas. This is well depicted in this churning of the Milky Ocean story. Here, if you notice, the Devas are fair-skinned on one side. On the other side, you see a mixed group of people, some brown and some purplish, which are the African Kushites. Purple is the healthy glow of the African skin. Shiva, Vishnu, Ram, Krishna, they are all of the same color in the drawings. However, if you see their wives, they will all be fair-skinned, because they are the children of Shem. And Shem also was known by the name Bharat. He was a Chakravarti emperor, and he seems to have ruled ancient India. Because of that, even today, the country of India is known as Bharat. To me, it appears like when the invasions took place from Ham's side, first of all, they came and took over the area of Canaan. And one tribe called Amorites, after the Canaanites, they started moving toward Euphrates and Tigris. Meanwhile, Cush comes from Ethiopia and comes to the Shinar Plain and establishes a city called Kish. Then from then on, his children, they are moving towards India. And in the process, Shem apparently has been pushed towards the east end of his inherited region, which is from the shores of the Mediterranean Sea all the way to India. And it doesn't end there. Even in India, there comes Ham and fights with him. Ham won in the name of Bahubali. He comes, he defeats Shem, who was Bharat. And then he gives the land back to Bharat and he moves on. At the latter part of Ham's life, he had been in Bactria along with his sister and wife, Rhea, and they were ruling that area. That's why that area is called Bactria, the son of Rhea's land. That's what Bactria is about. When you have all these kind of knowledge, when you look at Ramayana or Mahabharata, you will think in a wholesome manner. You won't think it is something that took place in and around India. It affected the whole world. There is a big picture to it. And there is also a bigger picture than that, you know. There is a God behind all these things. God was on Shem's side. Ham and his children had left God and they were with the fallen entities. So you get to see the bigger picture of God, devil, fallen angels, humans, how they influence the humanity and so on. I hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching.